Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening in the United Democratic Alliance Party UDA, which is led by President William Samoei Arap Ruto? What is happening in this party? Well, I'm asking this question. Right now as we talk, close allies of Rigathi Gachagua are talking of some MPs from the mountain planning to bring a motion in parliament to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. First of all, is this possible? Yes, it is very possible. Why? They have the opposition in their hands. They have ODM. Therefore, they have the numbers to impeach Rigathi Gachagua from the seat. But now, where did this start from? Let me give you a brief history about Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua was the first time MP in Mardira, and actually after that, that's when he became the deputy president. As simple as that. He has never been elected as an MCA or councillor somewhere. He just became an MP for the first time, and God willingly, the second time when he was elected, he was elected as the deputy president of Kenya. Now, what happened during this time? Rigathi Gachagua, there was a serious competition between him and Kithure Kindiki and some other, of course, young MPs from the mountain. But Rigathi Gachagua, based on the reasons that were best understood by the president and his team, Rigathi Gachagua was given the chance to take up that seat of a deputy president. Now, what was happening during that time is this. People said maybe probably he had used huge amounts of money during the campaign, and therefore he demanded the money back if he could not be given the seat of the deputy president. And at that time, they could not manage to raise the money because it was over 1 point something billion shillings, according to the sources that we have. Of course, it was rumors. Now, if the deputy president could not have the money, the deputy president then, that was William Samoei Ruto, then that means they had no choice other than to give him the seat of the deputy president. Assuming that was not the reason, Rigathi Gachagua still was given the seat, and according to what I saw, he deserved at that time. Now, during the campaigns, many things happened, and I want to quote them here. The first thing is that Rigathi Gachagua did a very successful campaign in the mountain. Most of his campaign was rotating within the mountain. And actually, during that time, he was speaking what the people wanted to hear, what the government, particularly the Uda people, wanted to know, wanted to tell the people of the mountain. And they said it. Actually, Rigathi Gachagua was a very good mouthpiece, and he was popularly referred to as the grassroots mobilizer. So people understood what he was saying. He was able to manage to take the mountain out of Uhuru Kenyatta and bring it to William Ruto successfully. Not really from Uhuru Kenyatta as such, but he was able to maintain it in William Ruto's hands. I'll tell you why I say that he was able to maintain it. Now, in the meantime, so Rigathi Gachagua did the campaigns very well, and they managed to win. And actually, in the mountain, they gave over 80% of the votes, which constituted of about 47% of the total number of votes that William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza received at that time. Now, going forward there, the debate came. Actually, before the debate, there were insults. Rigathi does not know how to dress. He's a former DO. He does not qualify to become a deputy president. He's a corrupt, and many other things. But later on, a debate came where he was supposed to face Martha Karua, who was the Azimio deputy president. And at that time, he thrashed Martha Karua seriously, and people started having a serious perception, a different one, about Rigathi Gachagua himself. Nevertheless, he became deputy president, and right now he's our deputy president in the country. But then why are they trying to impeach him? And surprisingly, this is coming from the other government. Before I dissect on that topic, and if this is the first time you're watching our videos, make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that's the best support you can always give this channel. Let me dive into the topic. Now, there are some things that I came up with in my research about this issue. I realized that when Rigathi Gachagua became the deputy president of Kenya, there are many assumptions that he made that he wasn't supposed to. Which were these assumptions? One, he assumed that he delivered the mountain to President William Ruto by himself. Yet, President William Ruto was in the mountain for 4 good years, campaigning, using his money, singing songs, bringing the church leaders, the church congregants, and actually won the mountain even before the election, even before choosing Rigathi Gachagua. The only thing that was there, Rigathi Gachagua, was to ensure people have come out to vote, and he used the language that brought people to vote. But Rigathi Gachagua on his side, every speech he makes, he assumes that he delivered the mountain to William Ruto, which was completely wrong. Another thing which was an assumption that he made, I think that is the kingpin of the mountain. Rigathi Gachagua was not elected as the president; he was the deputy president. Amongst other equals, Rigathi Gachagua was chosen to become the deputy president. During this time, there are many other people who are considered to have character and other things. But out of all these people, nobody was able to outshine Uhuru Kenyatta on the command that he had in the mountain. There was a Jubilee party that really people fought to kill, but Uhuru Kenyatta was still in control. So therefore, the mountain had not come together to announce the kingpin, of course. But Rigathi Gachagua, being the deputy president and considered him the highest person in rank in terms of the positions, he considered himself to be a kingpin, which was wrong. Why am I saying so? Most of the time he had problems. He could now talk of the name Uhuru Kenyatta. And he said that he's going to take the money to Uhuru Kenyatta. He kept on saying that he's going to sit Uhuru Kenyatta and discuss something of that sort. Yet, so which means he believed that Uhuru Kenyatta is the person in the power in the mountain. But in real sense, before he had assumed that he was the kingpin. And what he did was fighting other people, fighting other members of parliament, fighting other elected leaders, fighting Uhuru Kenyatta himself, which was very wrong. And all these fights that he engaged in made him vulnerable to anything. That is what is affecting him right now. Another thing I want to say is that he assumed that he has the potential to become a president in this country. And to be honest, he does not have. Why? Rigathi Gachagua was a first-time MP, and it was just time for him to make friends. But he assumed that he has the power to galvanize and bring all the support that he has from the mountain and challenge the president in 2027. Why am I saying this? He went ahead to campaign against government policies, to campaign against government people. He challenged the president himself. He went ahead to quote some of the things that are not supposed to happen. He went ahead even to say some of the people close to the president are after him. Actually, even demanded that the mountain must be given this, must be given that. He wants one man, one vote, one shilling. Things that the president himself was against. And therefore, this is fighting his boss. That assumption that he has the strength to face William Ruto was another mistake. Another thing I want to put here is that the assumption that he is stronger than Uhuru Kenyatta, of course, by attacking him, that was very wrong. Because attacking Uhuru Kenyatta made him, of course, Uhuru Kenyatta being strong as he is, made Rigathi Gachagua more vulnerable because now anyone could come for him. Whoever who could have gone to Uhuru Kenyatta had more strength because there could be financial support and as well the influence, because there are so many challenges that happen in the mountain that are pulling the crowd towards Uhuru Kenyatta. There were so many bad things that are happening right now in this government that are making people to believe what Uhuru Kenyatta said. So people are trying to alienate themselves from William Ruto, and Rigathi Gachagua is fighting Uhuru Kenyatta. So as a result, most people are lining towards Uhuru Kenyatta, making Rigathi Gachagua to be vulnerable. Anybody could come for him because he was fighting Uhuru Kenyatta and being against William Ruto. So he remains alone in the middle. And that was very dangerous. Another thing I saw here, it was demanding. Rigathi Gachagua started demanding so many things, and that was very wrong. They had so many cabinet secretaries. He's the deputy president, but still demanding more equitable shares to the mountain. He did not portray himself as the national leader. He talked of the mountain here and there. He didn't talk of other parts of the region. And that one actually portrayed him not to be a national leader. And he gave not just the opposition, but also the government leaders a reason for them to think that this gentleman, he has no integrity to become a leader in this country. Because if he talks of other things like shares, he talks of one man, one vote because of the mountain. What about the rest of the country? People felt like he's going to drive away the rest of the country from William Ruto. And that is why I say this was a big mistake and a wrong assumption that he made during that time. Then another thing that he made, he went for campaigns, moving across the country, going to churches, segregating himself with some other MPs, which is wrong. He doesn't have numbers. He doesn't have strong people around him. He only has, he has the Governor Nyeri, but he assumed he's strong enough to go there. Actually went ahead to go and attack the people working in the government. One of them being Nordin Haji, who is now the current NIS person. This person was appointed by William Ruto. You attack him directly. You are attacking William Ruto. Instead of sitting down and the president and discussing these issues, he decided to go and face this gentleman head on. And that was wrong because he was fighting the government he was part of. Another thing that he was speaking an opposition language, opposing some of the things that are happening in the government. He's telling the president to appoint people who are not arrogant to the Kenyan people, which means he could not go and sit to the president and share with him about that. But indeed, he decided to do that openly and publicly. Now, how did William Ruto decide to fight this? The first decision he made, according to me, is that he has to get Rigathi out of the government. And that could be happening very soon. Because 3 years down the line are enough for the people of Mountain to heal. Because what I'm very sure about, the person to be picked for the deputy president, if Rigathi Gachagua is impeached, must come from the mountain. And probably maybe Ndindi Nyoro or Moses Kuria. As we talk right now, Rigathi Gachagua must be a worried man. Why am I saying so? Because whenever you attack somebody, particularly who is your boss, and then he brings you closer, that's something to worry about. Because when he brings you closer, that means probably he has something to do. And he's bringing you, he's taming you. So therefore, as we talk right now, Rigathi Gachagua must be worried. Another thing that must worry him, it is this. I saw Ndindi Nyoro launching a road in his constituency. That road, I think it was constructed by the national government, but Ndindi Nyoro is the one launching it instead of Rigathi Gachagua being in the mountain. He also announced many other roads that have been allocated money so that they could start being constructed. And that was a statement should come from Rigathi Gachagua, but Rigathi Gachagua, he does not know. So therefore, he must be a worried man because William Ruto and his brigade have already turned their heads, their concentration to someone else. That is my video there and there. Kindly, if you feel there's another reason as to why Rigathi Gachagua has done a mistake, kindly make sure that you comment on our comment section. My name is Abel Mukwa. Keep following the videos we do here because that's the best support you can always give this channel.